going back to immediate aftermath, you have a sense of what the world's like. You go, you get up in the morning and this is what you do, and the next day is going to be like that, and you have a pretty good idea what the next week, month, lifetime is going to look like. And then you have a sense of yourself. This is who I am. Okay. At the scene or shortly after, just give me the worlds colliding of what you expected life to be like and who you thought you were, and now what you were actually, what the reality was now.
Ugh, yeah, it sounds so cliche, but my life turned upside down. The lives of these families of these poor people were turned upside down. They had parents, they had siblings, they had kids, friends, colleagues. Richmond is a pretty small community, and I I'm an extrovert and I've met a ton of people in my life, and I know a lot of people in this town, and I encountered many people who had some connection to one or more, two of the three victims. One of them, her colleague and friend, reached out to me and invited me to coffee. I don't know why, but she did, and I really appreciated it. That was amazing. As it turns out, the man who was killed was a former client of my ex-husband, and I had met him at a restaurant.
Mm.
Uh, I didn't make that connection at the time, but I later found out. So it was all just intertwined.
Look, you live to serve. I'm not saying this
Yeah.
so you get a good conduct medal or a merit badge. It's just I know you, and I think how just the juxtaposition between that and what just happened.
And as a person, I tend to be compassionate and empathetic, and I'm always trying to help people, whether they're, strangers, or if barely know them, or if they're my good friend. If somebody needs something, I try my best to do what I can, to help. Sometimes I'm sure I could do better, but yeah, I'm not somebody who looks callously at life and people. I love people. I love meeting people. I enjoy people's stories, and I, in encountering them, if they mention a problem, I immediately go into problem solving mode for them. Like, how can we fix this for them? So, for me to be the cause of so much pain for these poor families, it was hard to get my head around it. To be somebody who strives hard to do the right thing for people and to be empathetic to them, and then to realize that I'm the source of so much pain and anxiety and fear and resentment and anger and loss and grief was very hard to reconcile inside myself.
I, we find ourselves doing something. Yeah, that's me. It's like the excuse everyone does when they get caught doing so. Oh, that wasn't really me. But in this case, it really wasn't you. This was not you. And how, if you can recall, how did your sense of self change?
I mean, I knew that I was a good person. I have always tried to act in a way that was for the good of everyone, others, frequently for the good of others, to sacrifice to myself, for my convenience or whatever. So I knew that that's who I was. I knew it was an accident. Reconciling the guilt of having been involved in it. Um, and, I had people saying, oh, this isn't your fault. This could have happened to anybody. And, look what their experts said. And what were they doing standing behind the car? I mean, people were trying to be supportive, and no matter what they said to try and help me feel
Yeah.
that way,
Yeah.
it the bottom line to me was, it doesn't matter. It was me.
No.
I was there. It was
Right.
my car.
And what a really important point is you in that moment you still knew you were good. And I think, one is you have
Yeah.
that foundational sense, which a lot of times in life we doubt because there's all kinds of evidence to the contrary, whether we're making it up or other people are telling us that. But this actually this got you in touch with the core of your innate goodness, and rather than making you think you're something less, it actually kind of clarified the fact that you are this good person.
Yeah. And And to be fair, I mean, I for sure went through some. Did I live? Well, how did I jerk the wheel of a car going 70 miles an hour as hard as I could? How did my car not flip? Why was I saved? Can I go back in time and switch it and they don't, but through that, it's like I still knew in my core that I hadn't changed in terms of who I was.